Hi, I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater. This time out, a fantastically versatile phaser from Strymon. This is the Zelzah from Strymon. They call it a multi-dimensional phaser, and for good reason, because it covers a ton of ground. This is a super flexible box. It can add a lot of modulation capabilities to your pedal board. The Zelzah is designed and built in the United States, and it's actually two pedals in one. We've got a 4-stage phaser over here, and we've got a 6-stage phaser over here that uses a brand new algorithm that gives us some interesting options. Now, like all of Strymon's pedals, we have a ton of capability inside this box. There's hidden features, all kinds of routing possibilities, all kinds of control possibilities. Let's take a tour and explore some of what this pedal can do for us. To begin, here's our dry sound. I'm playing through a Strymon Iridium straight into the recorder, and I've got a G&L Comanche here as my guitar. The 4-stage side of the Zelzah pedal gives us those classic vintage style phase shifter effects. So let's engage that. Now we have control over speed, which is the rate of the modulation. We also have control over depth. And a nice feature here is we have a mix control that allows you to blend in the amount of the phaser effect that you want. We have 3 different modes for this side of the phase shifter. We have a standard LFO setting where we get that cyclical kind of a modulation effect. When we move this switch to the barber setting, we get a continuously rising oscillator. And in the bottom position, it has an envelope follower, which means that it reacts to the dynamics of your playing. That's a really cool dynamic effect that can add a lot of expression to your playing. Now, if we switch over to the 6-stage side, as I mentioned, this is a brand new algorithm, and it gives us some unique features. Let's set things up for sort of a deep phaser sound. That's a richer, thicker sounding phase shifter effect than what we get with the 4-stage side. Now we can also add resonance or feedback to this. So I've got the feedback off right now. If we move it to the mild setting, our final setting for resonance is strong, which gives us a lot of feedback. It really enhances the effect. Now we'll turn that switch back to off. The interesting thing here is we have speed and depth knobs just like we had on the 4-stage side, but this voice knob gives us some interesting possibilities. So when it's turned all the way down, we're at a filter setting or a phase shifter setting. But as we bring this up, the algorithm shifts to being more of a time-based effect, which will give you flanger effects, and when it's turned up even more, chorus effects. So if we get up into this range, this is much more of a flanger style of effect. I've turned up the resonance a little bit to enhance that so you can hear it more clearly, but it's a little different shape, a little different effect when you're using a time-based modulation effect versus a filter-based modulation effect like a phase shifter. If we continue turning that up, we'll get more into chorus territory. And of course we can tailor that. We wouldn't typically have resonance with a phaser Might go a little faster. So there's a lot of versatility there. We can also dial in vibrato style effects. You can dig in deep and dial in even rotary speaker type effects with this pedal. It's extremely versatile. Because we have two sides to this pedal, basically two engines inside the one pedal, we can do multiple effects simultaneously as well. So we can engage the chorus and we can add the phase shifter on top of that. Really rich, spacious effects. The inputs and outputs on the Zelzah are set up for true stereo operation, so both sides of this are actually true stereo effects. You can come in mono like I'm doing here and go out stereo. You could come in mono and go out mono, or you could come in stereo and go out stereo. So any of those three formats are supported, and the two effects inside will follow right along. You can also set this up where we're doing what we have here, which is the 6-stage phaser feeding into the 4-stage phaser, so we're getting a serial kind of effect. We can change that routing to where the two of them are split to the two sides of the stereo field, or we can set it up to where the two effects are running in parallel. So you have a lot of versatility for routing as well. Another powerful feature is the expression MIDI jack. This can be configured in several different ways. We can set it up to work with an expression pedal, as you'd expect, where you use the expression pedal to control different parameters. We can also set this up with a favorite switch, so you could call up a preset, or you could plug in a Strymon multi-switch and add 3 more presets available on a foot switch. And you can convert it to a MIDI jack, and using a MIDI adapter, you have access to 300 presets as well as full parameter control. So you have a ton of powerful control here if you're running a more high-tech rig with a switcher, or if you're controlling it from a computer via MIDI. And of course, this is a Strymon pedal, so that means there's extra features under the hood as well. You can adjust the stereo spread of both sides, so you could make one narrow, one wide, both of them wide, however you want to set it up. You can also adjust the polarity of the barber pole effect on the 4-stage side. So I have it set here to where it's continually rising, but you can flip that and have it be continuously dropping with the filter. And you can set it up to sync to clock. You can also use that expression MIDI jack for a tap tempo if you want to sync the rate of the LFOs to the song that you're playing. You can also set the Zelzah up to be either a true bypass pedal, which is how it comes out of the box, or you can switch it to be a buffered bypass if you're driving other pedals or a long cable. Something that's under the hood but that's very important and is a feature of many of Strymon's pedal is the analog design. This uses a JFET input, which responds very much like an analog pedal or an analog amplifier input. It allows you to get the right feel as well as the right tone from your guitars when you plug in. And speaking of the input, it can be configured either for instrument level, for guitar or bass like we're using today, or you can set it to line level, so you could run keyboards through this as well. Phaser, of course, is a great effect on electric piano. So as you can see, the Zelzah pedal is a fantastic phase shifter. It's so versatile. It can do everything from traditional classic vintage phase effects all the way to flanger, chorus effects, rotary speaker, vibrato effects, multiple effects simultaneously, stereo, mono, keyboards, guitar, on and on. Like all Strymon pedals, it does so much. It's an incredible value because it's a super versatile pedal that'll work in any situation where you might plug it in. Thanks for joining me today for this look at the Zelzah pedal from Strymon. If you have questions about this pedal or any other Strymon pedals, contact your Sweetwater sales engineer or visit sweetwater.com. I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Click here for more videos like this, or start at sweetwater.com for all your music instrument and pro audio needs.